Let me tell you a story. So today I was on world record pace in Spiral 120% all the way up until the end game. I was 10 seconds behind world record going into Nasty's world. And if I thought if I could just keep this together, I could at least PB, at least get a low 122, maybe even take it all the way. Who knows, right? Well, there was one thing standing between me and that goal, and it was this fucking level right here, Gnorc fucking Cove. So what I have here is that exact run right now, and we're going to take a look at what I did wrong, as well as using this as a springboard for talking about all the general routes and strategies of this level, and adding it to our 120% tutorial series. So what do you say we get into it and see just exactly how dreams get broken? Okay, maybe a little dramatic. These first few gems of the level are actually total fucking bitches. Those 4 gems right there, take a look at these. These gems right here, you gotta walk through. Look at my walk here. That walk, if I didn't walk, that was a dangerous walk right there. If I'd have walked for any shorter than that and moving enough to the right, see I push all the way up against the wall there? It's because that red on the right is going to fuck you. I swear to God, you try to do this part fast, that red is going to fuck you 9 times out of 10. You're going to have to turn around for it, and all the cycles in this area are going to be off, which are important as we're going to see right here. Now look what I went for right there. I tried to grab that gem out of the air from the fat guy. Try to grab it right there. Now, I had the unlucky gem RNG. Keep in mind that gems, when they explode out of an enemy and they don't home into you, they go into a trajectory which is like spans a little radius, and its trajectory is random. So it could go off to the left, it could go off to the right, forward, backward, in just a small, like I would say maybe like a 1 foot radius. Something like, if you look at his shadow on the ground, the distance between him and me, I would say is the radius. Kind of trying to draw that with my mouse right there, just so you can really kind of see it. Okay, I'm pretty, as you can tell, I'm bad at drawing circles with my mouse, but that's my general point, is that gem didn't home into, it didn't allow me to touch it because his fat ass hitbox was so wide, and this happens with these guys. You want to grab their gems out of the air like this, but you'll see with a few more of these guys later on. But so already I had to recover that gem. Now, what you can do with that small guy, and look at that, just a mess, right? So what you can do here, and I'll show the proper execution here right now, but essentially what you want to do is catch these guys with the barrel cycles while flame charging and grabbing their gems out of the air. And if you go quickly enough, you will have the same barrel cycles every time, and you'll be able to make it all the way to that end part, saving, actually, compared to what you see here in this run, that's probably saving, I don't know, 5 to 10 seconds. Like, it's pretty significant. Compared to having the type of execution you see here in this video, in the run I got today. But nevertheless, we're moving, we're charging through. Now, the thing with this, you can actually charge into that TNT crate. I don't advise it personally, but it does technically save a moment if you're confident in your sparks level. But I personally don't recommend it here. It's hardly faster, but what you want to be is actually off a little bit to the left of this strongbox. Notice how the strongbox's gems are all spawning from this spot right here. I'm actually standing a little bit off to the left. You don't have to roll into it if you don't want to, but try to stand off to the side like this and wait for that last green right here to hit the ground and then charge away. And be careful with that charge, that you don't go out there too quickly. Now you got to hit the, you don't have to hit that barrel into the guy. You could just grab the 2 gems and then charge into him. Again, it really depends on how risky you want to be with sparks in this section. And frankly, I do think there's room to be a little bit more risky, but the difference between hitting this guy with the metal box or charging into the TNT crate earlier is so minuscule compared to just doing the strat that you see here in this video, that it's generally recommended that you just go for the strat in this video. That's what basically all the top players do. But if you want to push your movement the extra mile like that, no sense in not taking it to the limit, being risky. Now, again, here, similar scenario, but look how I grabbed that guy's gem out of the air this time. That's what I was going for before. Take a look at that. Grabbing that guy's gem right out of the air, super clean, and that's what you want to get with, same with this guy right here. Most of the guys in this level, basically. Now, this route that you see right here, I just want to talk a little bit about what makes this route difficult is this jump to the bridge back here. I'm just going to scoot back a little bit. This jump right here to the bridge. So I've just killed this guy, was rewinding, and now we're here at the bridge jump. The trick to this jump and I'll move it over to a kind of frame advancer here, is you're noticing, now look at my input viewer, I'm really holding X right there, and I'm really extending the ledge, right? Walking off. It doesn't need to be a super far out jump, and especially, here's the thing that's confusing, it doesn't need to be all the way to over here. In fact, you don't want to do it over to this area. You want to kind of focus it into the left a little bit more. I know that seems counterintuitive because the left side of this bridge is higher up, but trust me on this one, because the further you aim to the right, kind of the more likely you're going to be to, it's weird that you end up bonking because it's further away and the ledge becomes less lenient. Especially when you're curving in left with this jump. The same thing kind of applies to the Beastmaker's homeworld jump. Outside of Metalhead, where you have to jump up that ledge, you really want to jump outwards and then make sure that your peak of your jump matches with the peak of the ledge without rubbing up against it too much. But once you get up near it, once you actually hit that peak, you do want to rub up against it and charge up. That's when it's like opposite. So when you're jumping, you don't want to rub. But when you charge, you want to turn and rub and get that little Tony Hawk kiss the rail, kind of push it up onto the side of the ledge like that. So you can see as I frame advance this here, I'm getting it up, and you can see I'm rubbing the ledge a little bit. That's lost height right there. If I'm not charging and I'm rubbing the ledge, that's lost height. But luckily, this is a little bit more on the lenient side. You see me, I'm curving left, pointing left with my analog stick down there, and that's what's really helping me out. Again, not jumping too far out to the right over here. And if you keep all those things in mind, I think this bridge jump is pretty consistent, frankly. But I still mess it up here and there. It is a tough one. But essentially, you get this bridge jump and you want to come up, clean up this red right here. You may be inclined to leave this red for later, but trust me, it is quicker to grab it now. It just makes for some awkward movement coming into these boxes. You want to hit the 2 boxes with the with your charge, and then do a safe cleanup with this box and the guy. There's a lot of options that you have here, and in fact, the fastest one I would think is to charge these 2 boxes. Let's frame advance here. Charge these 2 boxes, and then probably something like charge off the ledge while hitting this. Notice how I jump charge, okay? That jump charge is a safety maneuver so that I make sure I hit the box and don't run off the ledge. Because here's what happens. Imagine you're coming from this harsh of an angle here, from this jump, and if I'm not jump charging after this, first of all, if I miss one of the gems or one of the boxes, I'm just saying fuck it if I don't do this little jump charge to check. And by doing that jump charge, you get to realign yourself with the kind of parallel with the ledge, so that way you can charge off at your own speed. Now, what I think might be the optimal strat is to just charge off, don't jump, but just keep charging, and then glide flame charge after you charge off the ledge. But what I opt to do here, again, a safety measure, is to jump flame charge, and then that really makes sure I get over the ravine. It's really not that much it's not that much slower, but it's definitely a lot safer. I would say it gives you a lot of opportunities for you to jump in the air and fade back if you miss any of those gems. I still find myself missing them periodically, and if you have to leave them, not a big deal. It's better to probably just leave them and grab them after the dragon than to end up in this little hole ravine, which is very common coming from that harsh angle of approach from the bridge. Again, talk about barrel cycles one more time. The reason why barrel cycles are so important is that you can see that this guy, he was holding, let me go back a couple frames here. You can see this guy was holding a barrel when I killed him, and that actually means that he dies with the barrel landing on top of the gem, which basically stops. You see, that alone stops me from being able to grab this gem out of the air. Now, maybe in this case I might have been able to, looking at this frame by frame now, but you can see here in a couple moments it like literally goes, you can't get in there at that point. So in the air, that is. So you have to wait for the gem to fully hit the ground, and that's like, however much time lost compared to grabbing it out of the air. But you can definitely grab that one out of the air for sure, if you have good barrel cycles and good execution, basically. And the same thing goes for earlier in the level. Now, we touched this dragon on the left side right here, but we just made sure, and this is the crucial thing to remember with this route, is make sure to clean up those metal chests first. The ones I'm reminding here, these ones, make sure to collect these ones. Make sure to collect these metal chests first, and try to clean up as many of those gems on the way over here as possible, except for these 2 reds out in front of the dragon. These are the only 2 that you can save for after the dragon. These 2 reds, because you'll automatically collect them. You notice I just collected one right off the bat. If you just hold square here, you're gonna collect the other one. All right, jump charge coming around here. You have to use that barrel to destroy that strong box. In other levels, we could use supercharge or things like that. Super flame. In this level, that's not the case. You have to use that barrel. Or like an enemy's, you know, barrel or something like that. You'll actually see that later on in this level where you actually can use the damage from one of the metal barrels to destroy a strong box as well as a TNT barrel. So pay attention to that. And here's where things start to go awry a little bit. Take a look at this section. This is really bad. Notice I'm sparksless. I go back, collect both sparks because I have to do a damage abuse here. Take a look at this. Now, what I'm trying to do is collect this metal barrel, pardon me, this metal strong box that's behind the guy over here. See that? What I want him to do is hit me, but I want to be charging forward while he hits me so that it pushes the explosion hitbox forward just enough to touch that metal strongbox behind me. If I don't do that, the intended strat is to go all the way around and do some fucked shit. So let's see what happens here. Yeah. I miss it. So I fucking miss it on world record pace, like a fucking asshole. And you know what? Like, what can you do? Listen to me. I'm jawning at this point. Listen to the commentary here. I'm just like unlucky. Supremely unlucky, just maulding. So now I run through this area. Now I gotta use this fucking stupid ass barrel to recover the shit. And at this point, this is all time loss now. At this point, I should be moved on with this section. This is all time loss here. 3, 4, like 5, 6 seconds maybe. So that's big time now, and that's not the first time loss of the level, because remember what I was saying about these barrel cycles and the way we're collecting these gems from these big fat dudes. I've already lost like 5 to 10 seconds at least, just from the enemy cycles alone. Now we're adding on 5 to 6 seconds on top of that. Oh, be careful with that barrel. This particular barrel, if you kill this guy, what a lot of like newer players will do by accident is here. I'm just gonna hold this back a little bit. What a lot of newer players will do here with this guy, this part, is they'll actually hit the barrel. See how you can like kind of hit that barrel, or you could wait for him to throw it. It's generally faster to just try to jump over the barrel and flame the guy, but you just got to be careful here that you don't accidentally hit because it would be redundant if you hit the barrel here, right? It would be obviously a time loss at that point. So you just have to make sure that you walk around that barrel. That can be kind of tricky movement if you don't practice it. Another spot where you have to kind of get a lucky damage with these 3 guys right here hitting the... Let me see if I can show it. Yeah, with these 3 guys, when they all explode, notice how you hit the first guy's box into the rest of them. That last guy exploding right there can hurt the big guy, depending on the idle animation that he has. So I thought I was just barely not fast enough here. You could see he was just barely moving back in his idle animation, and it was just enough for the guy's explosion to not reach him. It's also partially affected by the way you hit the first barrel. You want to kind of aim it left a little harder and try to get it to desync its lock-on. But generally, it's kind of a mix between that and the guy's anal animation. So far, nothing has gone my way in this level. Losing maybe 10, 20 seconds. I'm so mad right now. Think about, okay, pause for a sec. Think about what just happened. I basically, all the way up to this, I'm hour 13 into this run. I'm like, this could be the one. This could be the one. You know, at least a PB. At least a PB this could have been. And at this point in the level, I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna fucking PB. I lost like so much time. I'm like, oh my fuck. You know, I'm just pissed out of my mind. So at this point, think about the type of gameplay, the way that affects your psyche, and how that translates into your gameplay. I have to play a lot more slow paced. Because I don't want to translate that anger into like more mistakes, right? So I have to slow down the pace, and let's just see how that comes together. Now, these barrel guys right here, getting back to like the raw strats here, these barrel guys, you just want to make sure that you hit the first guy, and this is awkward coming from the 3 reds, as you can see right here, but you want to kind of curve it so that you kind of get away from that 3rd red and walk, do like a little zigzag walk, so that you hit this guy at least straight, and then he'll blow up the other guy. You don't have to hit it straight at the other guy, but at least straight down the boardwalk, and you'll still hit the other guy. It homed in for me there, but it doesn't have to. Big trick here. That's not what I like to see. That is just absolutely... So with the... you can tell that's not what you like to see, for sure. you can see that with these 4 guys, you can see them very clearly here. With these 4 guys, you want to charge jump off of this platform, okay? And I'll show the correct strat here somewhere so you can see. You want to charge jump off the platform, hit the first 2 guys before letting out your glide buffer, we call it, which is just pressing X while holding square in the air, which glides for 1 second. You want to let out that glide buffer after the second guy, but not right when you hit the second guy, because then you'll miss his gem. So you have to, and depending on your position at which you hit them, if you hit them too high on their hitbox, especially the second guy right here, this second guy's the real bitch, honestly. If you hit them too high or too far away from their spawn point of their gem, as in too far on the outside of their hitbox, then the gem also won't home in. So we're being really careful about our inputs and our position here when we do this charge jump glide buffer down these 2 guys right here. Now, you can see in the original video, I totally fucking fucked it up. But well, it's just terrible on my part. As you can let me hear that real quick. Terrible on my part. That was just terrible on my part. Anyways. And then with this section right here, you can hit the metal box. You can see I'm trying to hit the metal box from a weird angle. Essentially, I want to hit, you can see everything here. There was a strong box right here, as well as these 2 fat guys. You can just see their feet right here. So fat guy, and strong box. Now, what you want to do is aim the chest right about here, okay? And I know the camera isn't pointing up yet. Here, let's advance a few frames so you can kind of see more clearly. Yeah. So you want to aim right about here. Right kind of between the wall and this guy's barrel. And again, there would be a strong box here. So the reason you would do that is so that it doesn't lock on. You want it basically to not lock onto this guy. And you want it to hit in the side of the wall so it hits all 3 of these guys in 1 hit. And that's the fastest thing you can do here, but it requires you to come at it from kind of this awkward angle, and also it helps if you do it out of the air rather than on the ground. So part of our kind of setup with this is coming from these TNT guys up above, and that's why my camera got all kind of funky here. You can see if I frame advance this, you can see I'm trying to kind of turn it. I did take damage, but I'm trying to turn it and then curve it around here. And I didn't quite get off the ground, and so that was part of the reason why I got a bad lock on. Also, I was completely blind because the camera got caught due to the damage. So excuses. As they say, hold on, what do they say? Terrible on my part. Anyway, so you basically, if you miss them, you got to hit it again. No biggie. So, I mean, it's over. Like, I'm not PBing. I'm just telling you right now. I'm losing 20 to 30 seconds now. It's over. I mean, come on, guys. Like, and meanwhile, coves I've done in quite a long time. And meanwhile, keep in mind in the chat, everyone's like, look at the chat right now. Everyone's like, we got this. It's fine. No one cares. The dude's standing on the TNT. Like, no one gives a shit. Meanwhile, my world is like burning around me. Anyways, let's talk about this room right here. So, there's the house is just up in flames. So because I didn't get those guys right away, and I knew that I had gems left sitting on the stairs, like, pay close attention to see, and use your audio cues, have your game sound up to see if any of those gems hit the ground from the TNT guys when you do that first charge down into this area. And if you hear one of those gems hit the ground, then you'll know that you have to clean up all the gems here as you come back here first. After you've killed them, grab the key, come back this way. Also, side note, you don't have to grab the key. You can do it keyless. It again requires proper barrel cycles, so we usually grab the key for safety. Anyways, we're cleaning up all the gems here, basically. If we already got all the gems up from the stairs, then we can be a little bit more aggressive with our gems in this section where I'm standing, because you can just run through quickly, and if you miss, like, say I missed this green and this red, and I just charge through and I go into the next room, I still have to come back through here. So you visit this area that I'm in 3 times. This is the second visit. Our first one was when we like hit the barrel, you know, and killed the guys. So you can just leave pretty much all the gems at that point. Just get the guys killed and leave all the gems. Then go grab the key in the room we were just in, come back here, clean up some of the gems if you got all the fucking guys up here. Clean up all the gems if you haven't. And since we haven't, we're cleaning up all the gems here. Okay, and because I grabbed the key, I do a little strat where I get a double kill on these guys. And take a look at this. Again, flaming the firework. Sometimes that firework can break on its own. But what I do is I jump over this. I'll just wait for their cycle here. Again, this is a non-cycle dependent strat. This is a safe strat. Wait for them to do their throw. I'm noticing that I'm on a good cycle, and I'm basically timing it so it's like Donkey Kong. You just jump over the fucking barrels, and then as you get along the side of this guy, let out this flame relatively late and give it the young glide buffer so you can hit this guy further on. And notice how I hit him kind of really far down on my final charge out of the air. Even if he's holding a TNT barrel, it's not going to make a difference. You'll be far enough away from it where it won't matter. So this is a good strat for these reasons. But again, if you have the proper cycle on keyless, you can just hit this guy's metal box into the. You can hit this metal box into the key chest, and that will also break it. So both strats are actually a lot of fun. I highly recommend playing with keyless if you haven't tried it before. Even if you fail it and you kill the two guys here, you can always just use this metal box to hit it into the chest as well. So you're never fucked, you know. You might, hey, fuck it, maybe I'll start going for it. Yeah, why not? Why not? Hey, I'm already throwing runs in Cove like this. This is already the, you know, worst Cove of my life. I got nothing to lose. All right, so we're cleaning up the gems at this point, and now we can just continue in the next area. This would be where we would clean up the other gems if we had gotten the ones on the stairs already. Interesting strat you can do here. I'm going to show a secret strat for you guys right here. If you want to try it, go for it. But what you're seeing over here is the safe strat now. You hit the box into him, basically. Guys, easy. Pretty simple cleanup there. Not much to say.
Looks about right.
Nice green screen there. Not much to say. And we're out. And now just take this moment to just take a look at my fucking at my agonized face. You can tell I'm just like just a broken man here. Let's see let's take a look here. I'm just like, oh, fuck that shit. Look at that. I'm just not. I'm like this. I'm like. This guy is not having a good time, man. He's not having a good time, man. But hopefully that's not you. You know, when you do your runs, hopefully you're not taking it that seriously. I hope you're not. And yeah, and I hope you guys are having fun exploring this game alongside me here. Hopefully this Nasty's Cove tutorial was something insightful and eye-opening, even to those of you who don't play this game at all and just are listening to this homeless John Lennon look-alike cosplayer rant about a kid's game from 1998. But either way, guys, I hope you have a great evening, great day, great wherever you are. Keep loving, keep spreading positivity in this world, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Don't forget to chug. Cheers.
Damn.